to take. But I feel like you even more happier because Chase Claypool is coming to Chicago. So, guys, Chase Claypool did get traded to the Chicago Bears on Tuesday before the deadline, and we all kind of thought the Bears were kind of having like this fire sale, which like we'll kind of get into that later. But Combs, way or no way, Chase Claypool instantly makes the Chicago Bears team a playoff contending team.
No way. Look, I'm excited about the move. I love the pickup of Chase Claypool. I think it's a great move. But I think it's a move for the future. The Bears did not become a playoff team just because of this. They're playing a lot better on offense over the last 2 weeks, and adding Chase Claypool to that, we finally have a guy who has number one wide receiver capabilities. I'm not saying he is a true number one wide receiver just yet, but you have to look at what he did his rookie year as kind of a staple as to what he can be, right? Where I believe he had something like 13 touchdown catches, and I believe he had 100 catches that year. But over the last 2 seasons, he's played with a quarterback who was well beyond the time where he should have retired. And this year he's been playing with Mitch Trubisky, and us Bears fans know what that's all like. So it's not. I don't feel like the last 2 seasons is something you can grade Chase Claypool's ability on, right? I believe Chase Claypool can be a number one wide receiver in this league. And then when you put him alongside with a guy who I've been saying can be a number 2 or even a nice number 3 in Darnell Mooney, you can have a really dynamic offense, right? Then you got to get Cole Kmet going. And I'm hoping that, reuniting with Chase Claypool, the 2 Notre Dame guys, I'm hoping that Cole Kmet will get it going because he's been a real big disappointment for me anyway, from what I expected him to be coming out of Notre Dame. Being a big Notre Dame fan myself, I watched him closely, and I expected a lot more than what he's been able to produce. I really like what I've seen out of this offense over the last 2 weeks. 33 points up against the New England Patriots, who are easily a top 10 defense in this league, and then going into Dallas and being the first team to put up over 20 points on them. That I like what I see from them. They're finally calling RPOs. They're finally doing that. What gives me pause for concern, though, is the offensive play calling. I hope that the addition of Chase Claypool doesn't give them the idea that maybe you can start going back to the 4 and 5 step drops. Continue to run the RPOs, continue to get Chase Claypool, continue to roll Justin Fields out of the pocket and allow him to find Chase Claypool as opposed to just giving him 4 to 5 step drops, because regardless of adding Chase Claypool, we still don't have the offensive line that can pass block. And we run the ball great. Justin Fields runs the ball great, and he has shown that when he is on the move, he can find guys and he can hit them on target. So keep doing what you're doing. Now, that being said, I don't think that gives you victories against some of these other teams that you're about to play. Like I don't think that you're going to beat the Miami Dolphins this weekend. I hope you do, and I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope you are a playoff team. But after the Dolphins, you get a chance to win a few games in a row, right? Because you get the Lions, Falcons, Jets, and then the Packers, who we just talked about. Oh God, how much fun it would be to be able to face the Packers when you're 3-9, when they're 3-9, and you're somewhere at 6-6 even, or 7-5, whatever you might be at that point. How great that would be. And then you go ahead and you beat them, but then you get the Eagles and the Bills and the Vikings. So it's going to be a tough sledding. I don't think they're a playoff team, but maybe. If anybody can screw the fact up that you might have a really good early first round draft pick and then go and just get a middle round guy, and they'll probably, being a Bears fan, being a cynical Bears fan, they'll probably end up drafting like a defensive lineman instead of offensive lineman. So, I'm optimistic, right? Like I'm hopeful that this was a step in the right direction. I'm hopeful that they finally saw, hey, to me, this was a sign that we're about to build around Justin Fields.
Okay.
That's what this was a sign of.
Okay. So I agree with you that no way the Bears are a playoff team. I think their schedule moving forward is just a little bit too tough. You said the Falcons were a automatic win. What? The Falcons are first in the NFC South. The Falcons are
I said it's a winnable game. There is no automatic wins for the Bears.
They're not going to beat the Falcons. They're not going to beat the Lions. They're not going to beat the Packers. Hell, the Bears could be 5-9 or like whatever going into the Packers game. But I digress from that. The couple things that I want to point out is that you did say that Juju had 13 touchdowns with 100 catches with his rookie year. Who did he play with that rookie year? It was a receiver by the name of Juju Smith-Schuster that was at his freaking pinnacle at that point. They were doubling and triple teaming that guy, so Chase Claypool was able to run free. Once Juju went down with the injury the following year, Chase Claypool had to step up and be that number one guy. His production went way down really, really fast. Therefore, that tells you that he cannot be a number one receiver. Okay, I get it. Ben Roethlisberger over the hill. He should have retired years ago, yada, yada, yada. Okay, fast forward to this season. Same thing. He is not a number one receiver. He is a solid number two. He is
from Mitch Trubisky, Buck.
Okay, but
Mitch Trubisky.
He is still not a number one receiver in any team whatsoever. He is a good two, if not a number three. He is a great complementary wide receiver. When he has a chance to run against zone coverage, one-on-one coverage, he's a pretty good receiver. Let's say a top 10 receiver if he has that ability. But when you are a true number one on a team, you are going to get double teamed. You are going to get bracketed. You're not going to get the number two or a linebacker on you every play. You're going to get the best cornerback every play. And you can say the Chicago Bears are making steps in the right direction, but everything that you just said is going to prove my point. Now that they think they have a number one red receiver in Chase Claypool, they're going to start throwing the ball again and being ignorant again. They're going to get Justin Fields killed just when they started to get healthy and get right. I love the RPOs that they are running. Very successful against the Patriots. Very very successful against the Dallas Cowboys.
I've been screaming for it all year, haven't I, Buck?
What?
Haven't I been screaming for it all year?
Right. You have been screaming for it all year. But the minute you think you get a number one receiver, what do you want to do? You want to play with the new shiny toys. And
that's what you might be right. I mean, that's what the Bears are prone to do. That's what their coaching staff has always been. I'm hopeful that what they're starting to do now, because in years past, the Bears wouldn't have traded for a wide receiver.
Right. Well,
the Bears wouldn't have tried to get better. They wouldn't have tried to improve. I hope this is a sign that, look, we know what we need to do and we're going to start doing it. And that's, and I said that, like, I'm scared that they might get stupid or ignorant, like you said. I'm scared that that's going to happen because I'm a Bears fan and I'm just shell shocked into that's our reality because that's what we always end up having to deal with. But I hope that this is a sign that things are going to change. And if this is a sign of things that are going to change, then they could be an 8-9 win team, like I had said at the beginning of the season.
I mean, and I definitely see your valid point there. But also on the flip side of the coin, earlier in the show, we were saying that the Chicago Bears were trying to make a move for Cam Akers. So clearly they're not satisfied with their tailback right now. So I feel like they're truly just going to take the RPO game out for the next several weeks, get Justin Fields killed, maybe put up 6-8 points tops, and they're going to be right back to square one again. And as your friend, I feel sorry for you because your Bears have built you up, saying, "Hey, we are going to do well. We're going to do well," and then crashing back down to reality. Come on, man.
Yeah, you know.
Thank you for checking out that man-hour clip. Be sure to hit the subscribe and like button and below, and of course, share us with a couple friends. But if you like what you just saw, click right here to check out our latest video, and of course, click right here to subscribe. And as always, Man Hour Nation, rise up.